was a mass exodus. Once I come through the gate. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm Dave.
commencement exercise of Enfield High School as we honor our graduates of the class of 2013. My name is Helen Nugent and I am the class president. Carrying the American flag is Jacob Boyle, who is joining the United States Army. Carrying the state flag is Shelby Lavoie, who is entering the United States Air Force Reserve. They are led by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Fairley, our United States Air Force Academy Liaison Officer. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now invite a talented group of Enfield High School students to come forward for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight is a joyful celebration in which we recognize the accomplishments of our graduating class. This is the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our students. I ask for your cooperation so that we can make this a truly dignified ceremony for the class of 2013. Please be sure to turn off all cell phones and other noise-making devices. Please remain in your seats for the entire program so you don't obstruct someone else's view. Before continuing with this program, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize a few people who have joined us here this evening. Mr. Timothy Neville, Chairperson of the Enfield Board of Education. Mr. Vincent Brady, Vice Chairperson of the Enfield Board of Education. Mrs. Donna Suzak, Secretary of the Enfield Board of Education. Board of Education members, Mr. Kevin Feely, Ms. Joyce Hall, Mrs. Tina LeBlanc, Mrs. Jennifer Rancourt, and Mr. Thomas Serrard. Mayor Scott Copen. Town Council members, Mr. Thomas Arnone, Mr. Patrick Crowley, Mr. Gregory Stokes, and Mrs. Carol Hall. Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jeffrey Schuman, Deputy Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Christopher Dresser. Chief Academic Officer, Ms. Ann McKernan. Chief Information Officer, Mr. Guy Barraza. Principal, Mrs. Jill Krieger. Assistant Principals, Mr. Andrew Long and Mr. Steven Sargowski. Class of 2013 Advisors, Ms. Susan Bodio, Mr. James Robbins, and Mrs. Doris Wise. Members of the Enfield High School faculty. Valedictorian of the Class of 2013, Ms. Marlena Kanaka. Salutatorian of the Class of 2013, Ms. Nicole Plummer. Parents and other honored guests. At this time, I'd like to present the class gift. The Class of 2013 was instrumental in bringing in Rachel's Challenge to Enfield High School. In carrying forth Rachel's mission of kindness, we will be instituting the Enfield High School Rachel's Challenge Kindness Award. This award will be given to one senior who has exhibited exceptional kindness throughout their high school career. Our class is donating a large plaque which will be engraved with the award recipient's name each year. This will be displayed in the current Enfield High School building as well as the new Consolidated High School. Our hope is that for years to come, Enfield High School will carry on the mission of kindness. The first annual Enfield High School Rachel's Challenge Kindness Award winner is Jennifer Reinhardt. Please stand to be acknowledged. At this time, I would like to ask our exchange student, Philip Volhurst from Germany, and Mrs. Krieger, our principal, to please come forward for the exchange of flags.
We've had the privilege of having a remarkable young man, Philip Volhurst, spend this year with us at Enfield High School. Philip, at this time, I would like to exchange flags, giving you the American flag, and you sharing with us the German flag, as a symbol of the experience we have shared this year, and the lifelong bond that we will share forever. At this time, Philip is going to express a few words. Thank you.
First of all, thank you, Helen, and thank you, Mrs. Krieger, for this considerate flag exchange. It is hard for me to believe that I'm standing here right now. I've lived in the United States for about 10 months and had probably the best year of my life. I remember that 2 years ago, I made the decision of coming to the US. It was a huge step for me. I left everything behind. When I was sitting in the plane, I realized that a little sheet of paper with my new address and my suitcase were the only things I had. You can imagine that I was a little nervous, but then I had my first days at Enfield High and all of my worries were gone. The way that everybody welcomed me was one of the most special things I experienced. The news of this tall kid with an accent who came over from Germany spread quickly throughout the whole school. I'm very happy that I was able to get involved in 3 sports that were completely new to me. After being here for only a few days, I was introduced to football. This real American sport was strange to me at first, until I came to understand it. Continuing in the winter, I was part of the basketball team. To see how close you can come together as a team and then accomplish more than anyone expected was impressive. Lastly, I played volleyball and had a fun time with the team, making it into the state championship game. And for each of these sports, I got to experience the awesome school spirit as all of you cheered Enfield on to victory. I made a lot of good friends here at Enfield High, and I will miss the times that we spent together. All my teachers have done a lot for me and were part of the Getting Americanized process. Enfield quickly became a second home for me. I want to thank all of you. And in particular, the Enfield school system, which is willing to take exchange students. My entire year was full of highlights, but all that wouldn't have been possible without my American mom, who was the base for everything. She would take me anywhere. I saw a big part of the East Coast, and all the little things in my year contributed to this one big adventure. All that every one of you has done for me will be part of my memories. I always knew this moment would come, but it came up a lot sooner as I ever expected. It is now time to learn how to let go, how to move on, and how to find excitement in the future. And that applies to all of us graduates. Our path goes on. It starts after this year. A new chapter is to begin for all of us. Let's look forward while always keeping the past in mind. Good luck on your way to college or wherever it leads you. Danke and thank you.
Thank you, Philip. At this time, I would like to introduce the Enfield High School salutatorian of the class of 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ms. Nicole Plummer.
Graduates, faculty, friends, and Board of Education members, good evening. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the Enfield High School class of 2013. In drafting this speech, I came to realize that I am not the person who should be delivering it. During the past 4 years, I wasn't always here. Physically, yes, but not mentally. As you look back on your years at Enfield High School, you're seeing memories made with friends, forged in unforgettable classes, clubs, sports, and study halls. But as I look back, I'm seeing everything I missed. So I won't be able to give you the speech you may expect, the one where we take a trip down memory lane and laugh at the times we've shared. As always, I have something a little different in mind. Was it not Ralph Waldo Emerson who once said, "Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail"? Not long ago, my friend Chris Fells gave me some advice that I will never forget. He said, "Your hopes and dreams are a present house of cards. When you're a child, they're all there already. You give up on one dream, one card, it's gone. The house falls. It takes time and patience to build it back up. The first card you have to place is faith that the house will be built again. Belief that you can and will achieve every dream, every hope, every card." This is exactly what I've spent the past 4 years doing. I've been constantly preparing, just in case my house of cards were to fall. And in doing so, I missed the most important thing. Now, do I feel regret? Yeah, I do. And for those of you who understand that feeling, I have some advice for all of us. Recently, I read a book entitled This Is Gonna Hurt by Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue. In it, he talks about his grandmother and the lessons she taught him through the card game Solitaire. He writes, "I see that it doesn't matter if you win or if you lose in Solitaire. It's the game of repetitiveness that untangles all that is in you and is balled up into a sphere of stress. Solitaire says, stop, enjoy the kiss, the sweet, succulent flowers, and your child's smile, or the roar of a plane overhead, even sirens in the distance. Life is just life. Being in a moment is not easy because we make it that way. This is not hard work, even if at times it hurts to just be in the moment." He's absolutely right. It is hard to be in a moment, and it can hurt, but it's worth it. Take it from me, the overthinker, the worrier, the plan maker. Letting go of that urge to control is the most terrifying and liberating feeling in the world. Don't fear it. He goes on to say, you're either going to win or you're going to lose, and it's not the end of the world either way. To win, to conquer, can seem wonderful, but isn't the hunt as invigorating as the kill? Once you get what you want, the new car, the new girl, the new computer, the new house, we feel the game has to start over. And here we come back to Chris's house of cards. Pursue every hope and dream you have. Believe it and make it real. But if it changes, or if the end result isn't what you had expected or had wanted, that is completely okay. If a card slips, you have the power to make the choice to pick it up again or to let it fall. Either way, it's going to be all right. And if you successfully place the card and like the way it's standing, congratulations. Move to the next card and keep building your house. Everything you do in your life will change it, and everything you do in your life will add to it. It's okay to stumble and to make mistakes. Embrace it. It will help you overcome fear. Remember, it is okay to not follow the plan. You can remodel, you can tear the house down and rebuild. So have your plan and use it as a guideline. But if you see something appealing out of the corner of your eye, stop. Step from the path and admire it, whatever it may be. Admire now. Live now and you won't have any regrets. Live now and tomorrow will fall into place. Live now and tomorrow you'll be exactly where you're supposed to be, even if you never expected you would be there. Thank you.
Nicole, I would like to present you with this official citation that was introduced by Representative David Alexander, Representative David Kiner, and Senator John Kissel. And it reads in part, "Be it hereby known to all, the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Nicole Plummer. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success." At this time, Mr. Sargalski will present the citation to Nicole's family.
Congratulations, Nicole. At this time, I would like to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2013, who will give the valedictory address. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ms. Marlena Kanaka.
Welcome, family, administrators, Board of Education members, faculty, fellow graduates, and friends. Albert Einstein once said, "Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. No amount of force can prevent this inevitable emotion, for love is a power incapable of measurement." We grow up to prepare ourselves for living the adult life, how to study, how to make important decisions, and how to live on our own. However, do the necessities of life stop at the nourishment of the body and mind alone? Shouldn't we continue with the nourishment of the soul as well? An intangible sustenance of life is love. My life without the presence or hope of love, incomplete. 3 forms of love exist: the love for a significant other, the love for family and friends, and the love for oneself. All forms intertwine and can exist in perfect harmony when balanced. Love cannot be spread thin, and the reality of human nature causes imbalance amongst these forms. And while maintaining love comes with difficulty, it is well worth it. Romantic love can mean different things depending on you and your experiences. For me, to love someone is to completely give yourself to them, believing you will receive the same from the other side. It is loving that person to the very top brim of a glass, where only a few more drops would cause that love to overflow. Your other half becomes your better half and vice versa, where you do not always have to look out for yourself because there is someone by your side. This person stands up for you and is there to hold your hand through the difficult times. I understand the vulnerability that trails along with such passion, but I do not think you can completely immerse yourself without truly letting go. And this is the risk worth taking to one day find a love more effortless than breathing. Next, there is the love for family and friends. The feelings and emotions for family and friends may be different in great or subtle ways than for a significant other, but they are equally important. Life has no substance if the happiness in our lives cannot be shared with our best friends, parents, sisters, brothers, and grandparents. The list continues endlessly for how big a family may grow as close friends feel like siblings. I hold dear to me the relationships I have with my mom, dad, and sister Claudia. I cherish the bond we have formed as a family, and I know I will always have a place to return to if needed. And sometimes when a family cannot console you, a friend is that extra needed support. The love of a friend is built through laughter, support, memories, and plans for the future. A friend is someone to lean on or extend a hand to when life becomes a little intolerable. What would I do without my best friend, Hannah Desert? My school days would have lacked a friendly smile, and my tennis games would have lacked that friendly energy that radiates from her. When we least expect it, a friend is all we need to feel at peace. Finally, to love someone else, you must first love yourself. I believe this to be the most difficult form of love because you are your own worst enemy. Flaws, faults, worried thoughts, and stress can cloud the care we should give ourselves. I am no better than any other and fall victim to lack of love. What I have learned is I am living my life for myself and no one else. What I do to my body, my mind, my heart, harms or helps me first rather than others. Love who you are, and do not let others live for you. Love yourself enough to put your needs before others. When was the last time you did something for your own satisfaction? Sometimes a little simplicity is all you need to be happy. We strive for greatness and we want to exceed even our own expectations. But a relaxing break should never be second-guessed. Good grades and talents would be nothing without our health. We must never forget to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves. 3 forms of love, almost too much for one heart. An emotion that is so deep, you can feel it physically. But life seems more nourished, more alive with love. Do not ignore the possibilities. I hope life brings you happiness with every choice you make. I hope you find the love of your life. Trust in the love of your family and friends, and never forget to love yourself. I hope we also hold on to the days we spend here with the people we have grown to admire, love, and respect. Remember to be brilliant, and remember to love. Thank you.
Marlena, I'd like to present you with this official citation, also introduced by Representative David Alexander, Representative David Kiner, and Senator Kissel, and it reads, "Be it hereby known to all, the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Marlena Konopka. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success." Congratulations. And Mr. Lonnie is going to present this to Marlena's family. Congratulations, Marlena.
And now to present the class of 2013, please help me welcome Enfield High School Principal, Mrs. Jill Krieger.
Dr. Schumann, Mr. Neville, Mayor Copen, members of the Board of Education, members of the Town Council, Enfield High School faculty and staff, invited guests, parents, and members of the class of 2013. We join together tonight as members of the Enfield High School family to honor our distinguished graduates. Congratulations to you, the members of Enfield High School graduating class of 2013. Tonight we honor and congratulate you for 13 years of hard work. This is an especially exciting night. I would like to begin by asking that all grandparents of the members of the class of 2013 please stand. Graduates, these people love you and will always have your best interest at heart. We know that they have contributed to who you are and who you will become. Please give your grandparents a big round of applause. Please be seated. Now I would ask that all parents and guardians of the members of the class of 2013 please stand. Students, these people love you like no other. You have no idea how proud they are tonight, and that they are now and will always be your biggest supporters. Please give your parents a big round of applause. Please be seated. Graduates, you probably don't really understand your parents yet. But remember, to them, it seems like just a short time ago, they were sending you off to kindergarten. Back then, they picked out your clothes, helped you slide on your superhero or princess backpack, and watched you climb those giant steps onto a school bus, or held your little hand as they walked you to school. And now it's you who are walking away, bigger, smarter, and more independent. One thing I have realized is that even when you're big, you still need your parents, and that your parents, no matter what, will always worry about you. They can't help it, so be patient with them. Last June, I came to Enfield High School for a day. I had just been hired as the new principal of Enfield High School, and I couldn't wait to get started. I was following the steps of Mr. Duffy, and I knew that it would be a tough to fill the big shoes he filled. But I quickly found out what a great place this is, and what an amazing senior class you are. You set the tone for this high school, and you immediately welcomed me to this special place. You are fun, smart, funny, athletic, musical, and theatrical. Over this past year, I have seen so many acts of kindness and caring. Some of you are searching for your talents, and some of you have already discovered them, but I'm absolutely sure that you all have them. As you think about the kind of work you wish to pursue, my advice is this: find something that you love to do, and remember, whatever you choose to do, you can have a profound impact on the people around you. I hope that you will always reflect positively on your time at Enfield High School and all of the relationships that you've formed here. I know that you have impacted me. My parting words, the same ones I give to my children each time they leave home: have fun, be safe, and make good decisions. Thank you. Dr. Schumann, on behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of Enfield High School, I proudly present to you the graduating class of 2013. They have satisfactorily completed all of the graduation requirements of Enfield High School.
Thank you, Mrs. Krieger. Please help me welcome our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jeffrey Schumann.
Thank you. Families, friends, colleagues, and especially the graduating class of 2013, good evening and welcome. You've assembled here tonight to celebrate the hard work and the effort of the fine young men and women seated before you this evening. They are, for the most part, responsible for their success. However, they have been supported along the way. It's most appropriate that we take a moment to thank those one more time who played a role in helping this group of seniors get to this point in their lives. Thank you to our dedicated professionals throughout the district who maintain high standards for themselves and for our students. To our civic leaders who dedicate a tremendous amount of their time and volunteer their efforts day in and day out. To our entire community who support the educational system. And finally, to the parents and family members who are partners with the school system in developing the next generation of leaders for our community and for our country. So here you sit, in your caps and your gowns, and you know that tomorrow you'll start down a new path. For the very first time in your life, there'll be no school rules. Here within the sheltered walls of Enfield High School, life has been very defined, prescriptive, if you will, spelled out nicely in your student handbook. And your teachers and your administrators were here to monitor your adherence to the plan so you'd arrive here tonight. Starting tomorrow, you'll write your own rules and you will chart your own course. You should not enter this next chapter of your life with hesitation or apprehension. You will face many challenges. You will make many mistakes, and you will learn from each one. Let's talk for a moment about two areas where those challenges will surely come: technology and ethics. Technology has and will continue to change our world. Your lives will be impacted by the advent of new technologies. Permit me the opportunity to share a story with you. Bruce and Sally were busy people. They were both young executives burning the candle at both ends, rising to the top of their respective Manhattan companies. They hardly ever saw each other, and when they did, it was like two ships passing in the night. The two understood they desperately needed some time away together, so they went on the internet to find a destination. They decided on the Florida Keys. Of course, being as busy as they were with work commitments, they couldn't fly out on the same day. As it turned out, Bruce would travel on Friday, and Sally would follow on a flight the following day. Upon checking into the hotel, Bruce noticed they had free Wi-Fi. So he got into his room, he shot off an email on his smartphone to Sally to let her know he got there okay. Unfortunately, when filling in the address line, he inadvertently omitted a letter, thus diverting the message to a different location. In Topeka, Kansas, a widow had just returned home from a funeral. In a small but dignified event, she just buried her husband of 57 years. Knowing that some well-wishers would be sending her condolences by email, she logged into her account. Most of the correspondence were as expected. We will all miss Bruce. He was a great guy. She continued to scroll through her inbox until she came to this one. Hi, honey. I just wanted to let you know I arrived safely. It was an uneventful trip that seemed to go by in no time. Everyone here is really nice. The place is definitely more beautiful than I expected. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow when you get here. Your loving husband, Bruce. P.S. It's wicked hot down here. Have you ever hit reply all by mistake? Ever sent a text message to the wrong person? Or posted something in haste on Twitter or Facebook? I'm not going to stand here and pontificate about either the virtues or the excesses of technology. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. But be careful. Just like a sharp knife, technology can be a useful tool or an instrument of destruction. And its effects are swift and often irreversible. Touchscreens and keyboards do not have a conscience. They simply respond to the commands they are given. The decision on how technology is used is not up to the device, it's up to the person manipulating the device. The choices you make with not only technology, but in all areas of personal ethics and responsibility will define your character. You know right from wrong. However, it will take strength and courage to make the right choice. One lapse can permanently and irreversibly damage your reputation. So despite the amazing current and future capacity of technology to impact our world, I believe our success depends on the integrity and the character of each one of us. As you leave us, it is my sincere hope that you will all seek to develop your minds as much as you do your thumbs. Use your imagination and your creativity to explore life and make a positive contribution to our global society, leaving it a better place than you found it. The pathway each of you starts down tomorrow will undoubtedly twist and turn as new opportunities present themselves. Follow it boldly, pursuing what you truly find compelling. Embrace every moment and let not one single one go to waste on something in which you find no purpose. Celebrate and cherish your family and your friends today, because none of us is promised a tomorrow. On behalf of the entire Enfield Public Schools family and the Enfield community, we wish you success, we wish you prosperity, and we wish you health and happiness as you begin your individual journeys beyond high school. And now as you go, how can we not visit Seussville just one more time? You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Congratulations and Godspeed. Members of the Enfield Board of Education, by the authority bestowed upon me by the state of Connecticut, I do hereby certify that the class of 2013 has successfully met or exceeded all of the requirements prescribed by the Connecticut Department of Education and the Enfield Board of Education. Mr. Neville, I recommend the awarding of diplomas.
And now for the presentation of diplomas, please help me welcome the chairman of the Enfield Board of Education, Mr. Timothy Neville.
Families, friends, colleagues, and especially our graduates that are here this evening, good evening. On behalf of the entire Board of Education, I offer our congratulations to all the members of the Enfield High class of 2013. We're here tonight with your parents, families, and friends to celebrate with you an important milestone in your lives, high school graduation. You, the members of the class of 2013, have worked hard these past 13 years. You've mastered the content, met the standards, developed as learners, and grown into young adults, ready and well prepared to move on to the next stage of your lives. Tonight is your night, and I want you to know that all of us on the Board of Education are extremely proud of you. Tonight also marks an end and a beginning. First of all, it's the end of school as you know it. For the past 13 years, adults have largely determined your course of study. From here on, you'll be making those choices yourselves. You are the adults. Although your parents and teachers are still here to advise you, ultimately, you are the ones responsible to make the decisions about what you want to learn, what you want to do with your lives, and who you want to become as persons. It's a new beginning. The whole world is ahead of you. Further education, jobs, marriage, children, careers, the military. The opportunities are endless, And what you decide to do and become is up to you. It's truly an exciting time in your lives. Now, commencement comments would not be commencement comments if they didn't always end with advice for your future success. So give me a chance to briefly share a few that I think are important and would like you to consider as you leave Enfield High School tonight. First of all, always have high expectations for yourselves. We've always had them for you, but it's your turn now. Set goals. Aim high and work hard towards accomplishing those goals. Don't forget your roots. Your families, your teachers, and your friends are your support system. They helped you get here. Be proud of them and where you came from. You are who you are, in large part because of them. Remember Enfield High School and the town of Enfield and all that you learned here over the past 4 years, or past 13 years. This is your foundation. It has shaped you and is a good foundation for you to build the rest of your life on. Be good citizens of your town, your state, and your country. All of us here are privileged to live in this wonderful country, but we need to remember that this country only works if we all get involved and stay involved, and we need you to get involved and stay involved. Don't forget Rachel's challenge. Those random acts of kindness make a difference. And as you found out, even one act of kindness can turn someone's life around. Remember also the power you have to change the world. Make it your life's work to make a positive difference in the world every single day. And finally, I'm going to wrap up with a quote that I came across a while ago that stuck with me. This was Sidney Poitier, a well-known actor from my generation, and in his autobiography, The Measure of a Man, he spoke of how he defined himself. And he said, "I am the me I choose to be." In a world where there's so much pressure, it's difficult to be true to your values and to who you are. So my final advice to you as you leave Enfield High School this evening is this: define yourselves. Be the you choose to be. Don't let someone else define you. Once again, congratulations to the Enfield High class of 2013, and thank you.
Now we will commence with a confirming of the diplomas. Valedictorian, Marlena Kanapka. Salutatorian, Nicole Plummer. Amanda Elena Ainsworth. Caroline Tate Alexander. Brandon Michael Andexler. Lilani Atkinson. Zachary D. Audette. Sheridan Bacchio. Sydney Lynn Ballou. Ethan William Bartlett. Rebecca Rose Bates. John William Benjamin. Nicholas Giovanni Bevilacqua. Ariel Noel Bennett. William A. Glazik. Avery Connor Boise. Jacob Alexander Boyle. Matthew Luano. Alexia Faith Butanis. Ariadne Birdsong. Edward Javon Kane. Kevin James Cammage. Dylan Matthew Carabello. Melissa Jacqueline Chavez. Wesley J. Chung. Ryan William Clavette. Thomas Darrell Coney Jr. Tyler Cormier. Christopher Zachary Corso. Joshua Michael Kraus. Michael Francis Crowley. Kyle Lawrence DeBrow. Stephen Daigle. Derek D. Marino. Hannah B. Desert. Emily May Dieters. Nicholas C. DeProto. Morgan E. Duran. Joshua James Dombrowski. Shauna Lynn Fateau. Ariana M. Fedorowski. Nicholas L. Ferguson. Matthew Ryan Francoeur. Jessica Marie Freitag. Josh Gaines. John Patrick Gill. Laura Grady. Shayna Marie Grimes. Samantha Marie Hayden. Jason Allen Pearl. Michaela R. Yanuszewski. Shaquille Jessup. Morgan L. Johnston. Rachel Marie Califf. Kevin John Kazalauskas. Valley Marie Kaufman. Mark Keys. Liam J. King. Nicholas Donald Kittle. Lucas Fluke. Rebecca V. Labby. Andrew Scott LePayne. Shelby Lynn Lavoie. Maisha Shatik Lee. Ian Edward Lipinski. Brooke Leone. Paul Lima. Joseph David Linehan. Nicholas T. Liucci. Scott Joseph Longo. Cody Luxick. Dylan T. Lusardi.
Rosalind D. E. Marinelli. Alexis Marshall. Amy Martin. Kyle William Maynard. Monica Janelle McNulty. Ashley Medina. Thomas J. Meskel. Ryan Francisco Morales. Kayla Marie Neal. Your president of the class of 2013, Helen B. Nugent. Brett M. Naroda. Andrew John Norris. Kyle Nicholas Norris. Nicole Marie Olszewski. Andrea Renee Orson. Islam A. Othman. Anthony Jose Patalik. Macy Olivia Peach. Kaylee Lynn Palmatier. Stephanie Jordan Procon. Alan M. Prouty. Stephen Kyle Rabida. Spencer C. Rancourt. Jennifer L. Reinhard. Rachel A. Reynolds. Marissa Riley. Brian Lockwood Rochette. Matthew David Rosinski. Carly Michelle Roy. Brooke Marie Ruby. Jordan Dominic Ruiz. Kevin J. Ryan. Brian Sackett. Miles Tijan Samba Green. Vincenzo Ciccoloni. Jonathan Paul Seppala. Mackenzie R. Sheehan. Avery Molly Sherman. Jacob D. Silva. Samantha Jean Slavin. Anna J. Smith. Nathaniel Dwight Smith. Summer Shanice Smith. Deanya Ella Smith. Heather Rose Sauer. Salvatore M. Spadero. Shane Raymond Spring. Ryan James Stager. Tyler Michael Starzik. Matthew Sullivan. Connor James Sutphin. Jacqueline Swart. Cassidy Marie Thorpe. Adriana Rose Tittarelli. Brittany Nicole Tose. Anthony Trotta. DJ Trudeau Jr. Sierra Rachel Trapaz. Ian Richard Turnberg. Zachary A. Vincent. Imani Rayanne Wallace. Mariah K. Warnock. Devin Ryan Weaver. Dallas Jamal Webb. Brianna Wilcox. Jenna Christine Williams. Dalton Joseph Wilson. Chad Eugene Woodyard II. Philip Vullhorst. Brandon Matthew Wunsch. Jason Zong. Anastasia Marie Young. Alexis Elaine Zane. Ryan William Zetterholm. Blake Matthew Zimmerman.
Graduates, please stand up. Make sure that your tassel is placed on your right side. Ladies and gentlemen, as my last official act as class president, may I present to you the graduated class of 2013. Thank you for all of our guests for sharing our commencement.